Welcome to Hypastar, a home for the super famous. Today, we follow the journey of a man whose story begins long before the cameras and box office records. It begins in a wrestling ring, under lights that burned hotter than Hollywood's, with a name chanted by millions: The Rock. Dwayne Douglas Johnson entered the world on May 2, 1972, in Hayward, California. His destiny seemed to be carved into muscle and sweat long before he realized it. Wrestling wasn't just a career option in his family, it was almost inherited. His father wrestled. His grandfather wrestled. It was a legacy written into his blood, and for a time, he fought against it. Johnson pursued football, chasing a different dream on the field in college. But fate is stubborn. When the gridiron didn't open its doors, the ring waited patiently. In 1996, he stepped into the world of professional wrestling. The crowd didn't roar his name yet. He was Rocky Maivia then, a mix of his father and grandfather's identities. Fans were polite, then impatient, then hostile. They booed him, not because he lacked potential, but because the ring demands authenticity. It was only when he stopped trying to be the wrestler people expected and became the persona he truly felt, The Rock, that the arena exploded. Charisma poured off him like heat. The eyebrows, the sound bites, the thunderous presence. The Rock didn't just win matches, he owned the moment. Hollywood noticed. The cameras of film worked differently from the cheers of an arena, but Johnson carried that same electricity with him. His first breakout came in 2002 with The Scorpion King, a movie that proved something many doubted: the wrestler could act. It didn't stop there. He crashed into action films like the Fast and Furious franchise, where he became a powerhouse character. Then he surprised everyone. The game plan showed a different side: humor, warmth, vulnerability. He became more than muscle. Voice acting came next, and with it, an unexpected triumph. In Moana, he brought a mythic figure to life with a wink and a rhythm. Parents, kids, critics, everyone saw something new. Johnson was not trapped in a type. He climbed from genre to genre like weights stacked on a barbell. Action, comedy, family, adventure, all carried by the same confidence. Work harder than everyone else in the room. Behind the spotlight, the story was one of persistence. He talked often about waking up before dawn, lifting when others slept, rewriting himself when the world tried to define him. He wasn't simply shifting careers, he was evolving. From football failure, to forgotten rookie in the ring, to the biggest name in wrestling, to one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood. Most people witness the victories. Few see the miles of sweat that lead to them. By 2025, his career began to pivot again. This time, into something darker and more intense. In The Smashing Machine, he stepped into the skin of former UFC fighter Mark Kerr. No fantasy monsters. No witty one-liners. Just bruises, addiction, and the fragility of a real man. The performance marked a turning point, raw and dramatic, directed by Benny Safdie, a filmmaker known for discomfort and realism rather than spectacle. That shift didn't mean the showman had disappeared. Johnson kept one foot in the world that made him a global star. Jumanji 3 loomed on the horizon, returning him to action, humor, and adventure alongside Kevin Hart. And then came Breakthrough, a psychological thriller he would also produce. Not the explosive battles he was known for, but something quieter, darker, meant to unsettle instead of amaze. Today, Dwayne Johnson stands at a crossroads only a few entertainers ever reach. One direction leads to the familiar, muscular heroes, impossible stunts, box office dominance. The other leads into dramatic territory, the terrain of actors who reshape their image through risk. Johnson is walking both paths at once, and that makes the road ahead unpredictable. The story is still being written. Whether in the ring, on a movie set, or behind a microphone, Dwayne Johnson keeps proving that the most powerful thing a person can do is reinvent themselves before the world decides who they are.